do some incredible things. Well, hello, everyone. And before we get started, right before, are we up? Do you have the, you showing on your side? There we go. It's taking a second. That's all right. We're on a little bit of a delay. We're learning some things in the room. That's no big deal. But with that said, if you are chiming in right now, make sure that at this very second, if you're coming into the live, hit the share button, share it on out to all of your groups, all of your friends, all the people that you know in your universe, because today we are officially launching the, Tony, are we going to call it the graduated version? Stable version of the all-new Rhinestone Tool inside Leonardo. So this live is going to be consistent of me going in software to show you some of the stuff inside Leonardo, how to actually create a rhinestone, what these things even are in the first place, as two are already giggling and goofing in the back right now. But we'll get to that in a second. Before we jump in, we got to introduce the room, and we have a couple of special people in with us. I'm not going to bring them on camera right now at this moment, but they're going to pop in during the live because you guys know we do a commencement ceremony when we have these tools that we can launch or put into a stable version live. So we have our buddies Tony and Kayla on our software team that came all the way to the good, great state of the mitten in our cold so that they could help me launch this tool, which is really cool. But hitting the ones, the twos, the threes, the fours, you know them. It is our very own Adam Z, Adam Zip, Zippy, Zippinator.
Why, hello, everyone.
There we go. I like that. That one's good. Why, hello, everyone. And then you know him, the salt and the syllables, the grammatical gatekeeper, or what we're going to call the general of giggles today, is our very own Adam Sneath. What's up, Adam? The giggler. He's a new. Oh, wait, I didn't even do the most important part. Hold on. Before we get into the maestro. Oh, no, the maestro of the evening, you know her, you love her. It's our very own.
Hi, Anna.
All right, hold on. Let me get it going.
Nobody heard me swearing behind the scenes.
That's all right. If they hear you say a damn or a poop or a shit or something, it's fine. This is our lives. We're okay. So anyways, we're having fun today. We're keeping it real. But first thing to kick us off, check it out. Bink! Look at that. Little bit of a belt action for you this year. This is the same hoodie, or actually same sweater that I had last year, and you guys loved it so much I figured I'd bring back your crafty elf on a shelf. So with that said, as I mentioned before, right before we're going to get in the live, you guys have had some time to settle in. I want to know where you guys are chiming in from, and we'll get to that in 1 second. But make sure that you share this live with all of your friends, all of your family, anybody that you know that is even said a word that starts with Rhine or with stone. I want you to send it to them because they're going to want to see this. But today, it is the official stable launch of our very own brand new tool inside Leonardo Design Studio called the Rhinestone Tool. As simple as that. So let's get into it really quick, though. Before we get into Leonardo, let's talk about what rhinestones really are. So for some of you out there, you may have heard the term rhinestones or hot fixed or flat back. And what does all of this information mean? Well, simple enough. I want to try to see if we can get a good shot of this pillow. I know that you had already framed this one up, but this pillowcase itself was actually made with using real rhinestones, which are typically a dimensional stone itself that has an adhesive backer that is heat applicable. So what it means is you can cut your rhinestone template out of what's called rhinestone flock. And if you're not familiar with that, it's similar to like Strip Flock Pro that we would have. You'll cut all of your little tiny cavities out, and then you're able to brush your rhinestones into the cavities of that template that you have, and then you'll be able to take a transfer tape and transfer that on over to whatever garment it is, whether it's a pillow, whether it's a bag, a jacket, a hat, whatever it may be. Now, there's two types of rhinestones out there. There's what's called hot fix rhinestones that have a heat transferable adhesive on the backside of them, and then there's also what we call flat back or glue adhesive style rhinestones. So those are typically what you'll see a lot of people have, the little tiny glue adhesive, and they will put a little bit of adhesive on, say, a tumbler, and then they're able to place rhinestones into that tumbler or into where that glue is, creating an all-around really cool-looking tumbler. I wish I had a rhinestone. That's the one thing that we forgot, Anna, during this launch is we didn't make a tumbler. We should have made something with a tumbler just to show the example, but no big deal. Nevertheless, we'll make sure that we're posting a ton of content right now. What's up? So 2 ways you can do it. Number one, you can take your template and you can adhere it to a piece of PSV, or there's companies out there that actually have heat applicable rhinestones. You can heat it and you can basically create a PSV sticker out of anything. The other part of that is most people utilize just a bead of adhesive, and then they'll place their individual flatback rhinestones. Or as one of the ways that you can do it is What did we call, so what are the two types, are the measurements of rhinestones? We have stone size, and what was the other one? No, pearl plate. That was the other one. Come on, guys. We did a whole lunch and learn on this thing. Anyways, thank you, Cindy, for helping out with the lunch and learn to teach us. Obviously, certain people listened. No big deal.
Okay. Well, Cindy's actually in the comments.
Is she?
She made a Caesar branded Facebook page. So
Oh, did she? Oh, that's awesome. So make sure that, yeah.
Cindy, she's our rhinestone queen.
We should do that. Actually, for the new year, what we should do is we should do a live, and we should give everybody's Caesar profiles just so people can follow, because we all do so many different things. Like Cortez has his style, Andrew's got his style, Cindy's got hers, Tina has hers. Everybody's got really cool styles here at Caesar. So yeah, we'll definitely do one where we highlight everyone. But let's hop into software. I want to show you this tool. I want to get into the bulk of this tool. Now, I know we briefly talked about it a little bit before, but I want to simply start out with a shape. And we're going to utilize a heart for our shape, because I think that they show really well, and because, you know, I love crafters. So what are we going to do? So with our element, our shape, our text, our whatever inside our Leonardo Design Studio or software of choice, obviously with Leonardo, this is where you can achieve. And I realized I didn't change the language back to English. I had it set as Spanish because I was doing some testing earlier. Good catch, guys in the room. Thank you, everyone. Anyway, with that, I'm going to take my shape and I'm going to simply hover down to where you would typically see the cut contour tool, as well as our line fill tool. Right next to it's going to be rhinestones. Here's the cool part about the rhinestone templates. As soon as I click the rhinestone template, it's going to automatically start detecting where all of those rhinestones individually can be placed and finding the best path for me to actually have all of my rhinestones ready to go. Now, in this case, it started out with an SS10, and what that basically is it's a stone size measurement in the rhinestone world, but essentially that is a 2.4 millimeter size stone. Now, inside the Leonardo Design Studio, inside the Rhinestone tool, there's a couple of options that we have just right from the jump. First of all, we can create a solid preview, which is an actual physical rhinestone itself. Or if you're somebody that doesn't really care to see what the actual rhinestone in software, you can deselect that and just see the series of circles that help to create that, either that template or this new style design. Now with that, I'm going to click solid preview because I love the look of the rhinestones, and there's also a really great color library that's attached to this part of the tool. So I can change it to blue, I can change it to blue violet. Oh, I like that color. Now, nice. I can change it to a light green. I can change it to coral. I can change any color I want. So for me personally, I can already start to get an idea of what my end result will look like, or what my final application will look like. Now with that, there's a ton of different sizes. We did put in all the standard sizes from SS6 all the way up to SS10, but we do have some expanded sizes as well. Now, let's say that you're in the rhinestone world now, and you said, hey, Pat, you know, every time I cut a template, for whatever reason, I feel like the sizing in software is just a little bit too small or just perfect on those rhinestones. Well, here's something that we've actually added into the software itself. So what you can do is you can physically change the stone size just with a click of a button, but also you can change extra padding and gapping. And what this will do is this will essentially build the contour around where your rhinestone will fit in just slightly larger based on what your preference is. So sometimes it'll make brushing in those rhinestones a lot easier for you when you're actually producing. Now, I will give our software team all the credit in the world for thinking of adding this in, because this is something that I haven't seen a lot of rhinestone tools actually have, or really good, easy way to use rhinestones. So not only did this create our rhinestone template into the shape of our heart, this is also giving me how many stones it will actually take to create this piece of artwork. Now, I know for a lot of you that make rhinestones, you say, hey, that number could be as much as 5,000 for a design. It could be as low as 40 for a design. But this is going to now show us, but this is the part that I love the best, cost calculator. So now what I can do is when I buy my rhinestones, I know exactly what my cost per rhinestone is. Then this will do a little math equation for me on exactly how many rhinestones it is to fit this particular design. And that just allows me to get to the next step or the next stage of being able to charge my customer if I am doing this for a business. Or maybe I just want to have a good idea of how much money and time, or how much money I'm investing into creating these templates. Because the way that the secondary way I'm going to show you here in a minute to create rhinestones is going to hopefully blow your mind. I mean, that's the goal. So with that, let's go away from here. So we have a great way to preview your stones. We have an awesome color library. There's also a free floating color wheel as well, just like on Leonardo's main page. But this right here will allow you to really get specific on whatever Pantone color you're trying to hit. And then from there, you know that we have the cost calculator. Moving on to all of the different fit and fill options that are available for the Rhinestone tool is one of my favorite parts. So what we have right now is just a solid fill. So this essentially takes your shape and it fills the inside of your shape. Now there's a couple of different options. You have what's called a border only, which will just create rhinestones around the border of an image. And then you have a rhinestone vector, which does a combination of border fill and fill only. So not only can you just have an outbound contour, which we'll add here, and then we'll bring that to the side so you guys can see what this looks like on screen. But then I can also go right back into that Rhinestone tool. I can go to my fill options, click fill only, and from here I can make some micro adjustments. So with this, when we're in a fill only option, I have a couple different ways that I can fill this. A grid, which is basically XY axis, so columns and rows, essentially. That's how I explain it, the easiest way to explain it. Hex fill, which obviously works in that pattern, but one of the best features of this tool itself is the smart fill, where you're just allowing the tool to do the majority of the work for you. Now, as you guys know at home, you're probably saying, Patrick, when we do rhinestone stuff, you know, if I do it personally, sometimes you do have to make these little micro adjustments to your design. So I want to show you really quickly. Once we've actually have the base of our preview done, I can head on down to these spacing and change the spacing within the rhinestone. So I want to explain kind of what the spacing means and why that's really, really important. So with spacing in rhinestones, we're going to take a singular rhinestone, a singular circle rhinestone, and we're going to call that 100% of that rhinestone. When we're talking about the percentage of spacing, what that means is that is the percentage of the total size of one of the rhinestones in your design. So if it's an SS10, that's literally, this one is 10% of that rhinestone is how big that gap spacing is horizontally. And then for this one, 5% of that total rhinestone is how much is added for the gap in between each of those stones. So we can go ahead and we can manipulate it. What if I want to add a little bit bigger percentage? Now what I'm doing is I'm able to grow that percentage horizontally and vertically to find what the best fit may be. Now it's important to pay attention to places, especially when it comes to the bottom, like the tip of a design. Say if you have a star, a heart, horseshoes and balloons, all the Lucky Charms, or if you have very rounded edges like the top of this heart, a lot of times it is difficult to find the perfect alignment or the perfect separation in your design, but that's no big deal because here's how to fix it really quickly. So we need to add a little tip to this bottom part of our heart. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, I'm going to hit accept. I'm going to move over my template. And just so you guys are aware, I don't know if anybody's caught this just yet, but every time I hit accept in the Rhinestone tool, it saves my original shape or template that I'm using to create the rhinestones. This is massive, massive with rhinestone making, because not only does it allow you to get your rhinestone shape, all your rhinestones laid out, but this is also going to retain that main shape. So let's say for this particular design that we're going to clean up here in a second, I want to also add a vector line around it. Go ahead and click my heart, click my Rhinestone tool, go to my fill and fit options, hit border only. And then what I want to do is I want to bring that offset just a little bit further than where it's supposed to be. I'm going to go up back into my stone sizes, change the color to agua. And then now I've just created an outbound contour. So I've created a two layer template or two color template for myself. So let's go ahead, pull the border only because we've already done that one. And I want to get real close to the bottom of this rhinestone template. And I want to make this a point. So I'm at the very bottom right now. I'll back up just a little bit. I'm at the very bottom of my heart where usually the point is. I'm going to go ahead and select my image, and much like you would select or separate letters in your normal designs, I'm going to right click, go down to paths, and we're just going to ungroup all of the paths. So that means that this rhinestone template, I can pull rhinestones out of here wherever I need. But for the sake of this conversation, we're going to be very careful with this next step. And all I'm going to simply do is highlight two rhinestones, copy and paste. So Control C, Control V, or Command C and Command V if you're on Mac. I'm going to use my directional arrows to space them out a little bit. And then I'm just going to simply find the perfect fit to continue and finish off the point of this heart. So then I can grab that singular one. I'm just going to drop one right down there. Do a quick little organization of some of my rhinestones just to make this look a little bit more consistent. And I may need to add one, but you guys can see in real time how quickly we can make this work. And I know this is looking a little chintzy because I'm talking while I'm doing this, but the end result will be fantabulous is what we're hoping.
We have a question from Kelly Smith.
Ask, you said you got a question?
A question.
Let's do it.
I can't speak to
That's all right.
Kelly Smith wants to know, can we have different colors within one design?
Ooh, that's a really good question. So much like I just showed you, thank you for that question, by the way. Much like I just showed you of creating our fill only here, and then creating our outbound contour, that's kind of the way we have to do it right now in software. There's no way to say, hey, I want this outbound contour to be, one shape, and then I want the inner fill to be another, have the outbound contour to be one color, have the inner shape to be another color. So I'm going to show you really quickly. Let me just organize these last two things, and then we'll get one more in here. This is close, but you guys know if I spent a lot more time on this, I would have this honed in. But essentially, we're able to then create or fix the bottom of it. So let's go ahead really quickly. After I'm done, hit weld, and now I have this ready to go and ready to cut. I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete this, and let's grab quickly a file from the designs library. And let's do something that has a few different colors in it. Pick me, you know what? Actually, you guys do me a favor. Pick me a category. So you guys out there, I want you to lay out any category: Christmas, holiday, summertime, school, whatever it may be. Drop that in the comments and we'll find something that's close to that. While we're doing that, I'm going to use this happy birthday one though, because it's a pretty simple multicolor design. And we're going to open this one up, and then we'll come back to a seasonal design. All right. So this happy birthday, we already have a couple of different things that's working in our favor and a couple of things that are working against us. So the first thing I'm going to do is just ungroup this entire design. And I know that I have a background that's like a grayish, a lighter gray. I have this darker gray, and then I have the happy, and then the birthday. Happy birthday. There we go. Let's see here. Okay, cool. What are you yelling at me for? Oh, I thought you were yelling at me. Sorry.
There's someone else that wants to say hello.
Oh, is there somebody else yelling out there? What's up, Yohan? Oh, I'm number one again. Thanks, man. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this outbound contour and we're going to create our rhinestones out of that first. Okay, so we're kind of breaking this image up, and we're gonna separate each one so that we can create this and ultimately put it all back together. What's up?
This might be a question for Tony, but maybe you also know the answer. Kelly Smith has another question. I still can't talk. When you have different colors, does it give you a count for each color or the total count?
Ooh, good question. So, hey, Tony Spumoni, are you at the table in there still? Oh, you answer. Why can't answer me? You got to answer them.
Refuses to come in front of the camera.
Listen, it's weird because guys, the only one. Yeah.
It's per object, per color. So
Perfect.
Every time you look at it, it's going to be whatever that object is.
Perfect. So what Tony explained is exactly what I'm going to show you guys too live, is that every color that we separate, or every element we separate, the Rhinestone tool is going to count what is in the rhinestone feature itself. Okay. So if I'm going to do, right now we're doing aqua for this one, and all I'm doing is I'm just changing the stone size, and I'm going to change some of the gap sizes in here so that I can really try to get as close as possible to a really solid template. And sometimes when you are making a template, just so you guys are aware too, you're going to have gaps and stuff like that in there. That's where we need to start manipulating a little bit in real time, or we might have to pull this in, separate a couple elements. But as you can see, just by changing some spacing horizontally and vertically, I now have my aqua layer. And this one right here is 551 rhinestones that'll actually make up this first layer. So I'm going to hit accept. Go ahead and pull that on over. And if I were making this as a permanent shirt to actually apply, I'd probably clean up a couple of these little guys here, a little bit of the hanging fruit that's kind of around the design, but that's okay. We don't have to worry about that right now. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the happy, do the same exact thing. We're going to start creating our design. So let's go to the coral, because that was kind of the color we were using. Y'all staring at me and laughing at me. I'm just trying to.
I've got one more question for you, Patrick.
Yeah, what's up?
If someone doesn't
It's Christmas, by the way, guys. We're having fun in the office.
If someone doesn't have a Romeo or Juliet,
yeah,
can they still utilize this tool?
Ooh, hey, Tony. If somebody doesn't have a Romeo or Juliet, can they still use the tool?
Absolutely.
how? Oh, you got to talk on the mic, man. Nobody can hear you when you don't talk on a microphone.
Absolutely.
They can't see you though, so it's hard for them to understand. So why don't you grab that and come over here?
You know, it's
There we go. There he is. Welcome to the live, Tony. Hey! We'll embarrass Kayla next to you. All right. So if they don't have a Romeo or Juliet, how do they use the tool still?
Yeah, so with Leonardo Pro, you're able to export to SVG, to PNG, to PDF, and to
TIFF.
JPEG and TIFF.
In TIFF files. Yep.
Yeah, so anything that takes those file formats, and we know that Cricut Design Space, we don't like to say that name around here, but we know that they will take an SVG file easily, and you can also do print and cut with the raster formats.
That's perfect. So all you got to do, hop on to CaesarNA.com, go to the cut or the software tab. Now, do we change it to software? I think now, or does it say Leonardo? Okay, cutters, then Leonardo. I know Keith did a little maneuvering. Get yourself access to Leonardo Design Studio. You can purchase the pro subscription and you can build these templates till your heart content. And at the end of the day, we're looking at just the happy at 4 cents a rhinestone at this piece. We're looking at like $26 right now in total. So if you're a rhinestone maker, you can sell this stuff for a pretty reasonable profit too. So I think it kind of pays for itself. Absolutely. Are you going to come back to hit the button in a minute?
I got it. Yeah, I got to go back and get the button ready.
Thanks. Oh, Adam might have one for you too.
While Tony's up there.
Here we go. Come on.
Question from YouTube. Were there any changes between the beta and the stable release?
Ooh, good call.
The only change that we made was actually something that Adam did, which was adding more languages to it. So foreign language support. We do have a few languages we're still working on. We're working on Danish right now. So if there's anyone that speaks Danish that's on the live,
if you'd like to help, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, we need some help with that.
Awesome.
We do have some other changes coming down the road. One of them will be the ability for our design library to pull in raster content. We have some fixes for printing. And while I'm talking about it, those of you in macOS Sequoia, we know we're seeing some Wi-Fi issues. It seems like it's on the Apple side. But if you are in Sequoia and you're having some trouble connecting, what you can do is you can go into network and privacy and then local network. And then there's a way to enable Leonardo to access devices. It'll show as enabled, and so you'll think that you're fine. But if you toggle that off and back on, it should resolve your Wi-Fi issues.
Why don't we get together? Why don't we get together later today, and we'll lay that out. We'll throw it in the group.
Yeah, if we got a Mac in the office, I'll show you how that works. So then you can show it on a future live or just make.
I think we posted it. Yeah, we can post it into the group so that you guys are aware. Especially if it's something that you guys can take advantage of right now. Let's get it out there as quick as possible. Cool.
Absolutely, but it's not really something we can change right now. We apologize. We know we have a few of you in Sequoia that are frustrated with that. But we're working with Apple. It's across the board. A lot of people are seeing that.
That works. Either way, Critter Design Space can't do it, so whatever. Anyway,
I have seen some other fun features coming.
You can listen, man. This is your floor. You got the plaid shirt on today. You talk.
There, if you've got the text tool, and there are certain things you've wanted to do with the text tool, spacing wise, we'll say that's all we're gonna say now, but.
Yeah,
it's coming soon.
All right,
the designers upstairs are going to be very happy.
Yeah,
that's awesome. So listen, you heard it here first. This is the cool part about our lives is you guys already know we go rogue anyways most of the time to show you guys fun things in software and out of software. But there's no other companies that are bringing on the people actually making their software every day to give you and deliver this information to you. So it's kind of nice to have that ability. I think that's why our team's so awesome. So thanks, man.
Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you. All right, we'll be right back. And let's give a round of applause because that has been a while since Tony's been in studio, and we'll embarrass Kayla here in a minute too. No big deal. All right, so hopping on back. Thank you, Tony, for that. So hopping on back into Leonardo, let's wrap up this project really quick because I still want to apply this new way to do rhinestones or a way that you guys might have already known. So what I'm going to do is change my color to coral. I'm happy with the layout and what this is looking like. So now I have my happy that I can put right back in place. And I know, guys, this isn't 100% perfect, but this is showing you how to utilize the tool and how to start creating multicolor designs. What's up, Adam?
So you may be about to touch on this, but a question from YouTube. If you have multiple colors of rhinestones, will the software cut them out individually?
Ooh, that's a great question. Why don't we go ahead and we're just going to do a little scoot and skedaddle. So again, I did this very quickly, guys. There's a ton of cleanup that I need to do in this birthday one. I just want to get you guys through the actual tool itself to show you all of the fun stuff. But to answer your question, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit send design, and I'm going to create selected artwork only and move each layer to its origin. So what this is going to do is take every single one of those rhinestone colors that we just created in our 3-color design template we made, and it's going to essentially create 3 different boards for you to cut from. Now, for all of my rhinestone-y people out there that are doing rhinestone templating right now, here's a great tool that you can utilize as well when you're on this step, so that you can make sure that your rhinestone template stays centered, not only to other elements of your rhinestone template, but just having enough space on all sides of it. So it's a lot easier to manage when we are brushing in those stones, as I can just simply put in auto weed box, and then I can bring my my whole design to the origin. And then now you can see there's now a border. So this is really making a sure cutoff in that template. So I can either take my rhinestone flocking that has a sticky backer, I can lay it down on the table and it's really clean and organized, or I can grab a sheet of paper or construction paper like my friend Cindy upstairs does, and you can keep those templates all lined up and kind of filed away and make them very, very easy. So this is the Rhinestone Tool inside Leonardo, and I was very pumped to show you this. But there's not only just the 2 ways to use rhinestones, a flat back and of the hot fix rhinestones. As a lot of you guys know, we have a really incredible product here at Caesar called holographic material. Now, holographic is really cool because it comes in a wide variety of colors and color spectrums. So this right here is silver. It's interesting because when we first looked at holographic material, it was a material like any others. And then somebody down the road said, hey, you know, I'm already making these rhinestone templates, and the way that the cones and the actual color and the holographic material is actually made kind of represents a rhinestone when you cut them into small circles. Hence why then from the silver, we got into the rainbow with rhinestones. And then we got into things like orange and black and blue and so many other colors to create really, really great things. Now there's two problems with rhinestones, okay? And we're just going to address the elephant in the room. As somebody that utilizes rhinestones to create things for maybe my daughter's gymnastics, cheer, and stuff like that, sometimes with rhinestones that do have a little bit of depth to them, they can be a little bit rigid on the shirt. So if you are somebody that maybe has a cheerleader, a lot of uniforms don't even allow heat applicable items on there based on like the US Cheer Association. Some need everything to be completely flat or actually part of the material or part of the uniform to make this work. So with rhinestones, we can cut it in a new way. The way that rhinestone templates were before is that you would take your rhinestone template, it would cut out, have all these little tiny holes in there, right? Then you would take your main sheet, which is considered your negative, take that off, and you'd peel that, leaving all those little tiny holes left, all those little tiny cavities left behind, and now you have basically a sheet of all holes that you'll brush your rhinestones in. Well, why are we wasting those little tiny holes when we can accomplish the same thing utilizing holographic heat transfer? So I'm going to get over onto the heat press here. And while we're just on the head up cam, Adam, why don't we just adjust the camera so we can get a little bit of press? I know that I totally said that we weren't, and then now I'm changing my mind. Here, I'll turn it this way, though, so that it's a little easier to get in. So we'll go ahead that way. Look at this little naughty or nice. Naughty and nice sign. This is really cool. These things, while Adam's setting up that camera. Oh, let me get you somewhere to kind of focus in on too, if you're not already good. Cool. Okay, cool. This is actually something that our graphic design team comes up with inspiration projects every single month. And it's insane for me sometimes to see the things that they come up with because they're pretty incredible. Well, this is one of the inspiration projects. And all this is simple foam core board. And it looks like glitter. I don't know if that's green or emerald, but glitter in PSV, I'm sorry. And this is a total PSV project. So it looks like there's some glitter in there. I'm going to assume that the top part is either matte black or that's blackboard, one of the two. But this is a really awesome design. Oh, yeah. Oh, we got the overhead. Duh. Just let me know if I need to go closer or further. Good. Sweet. But it actually works too. I don't know. I think our team is one of the most creative in the industry. So just a me thing, I guess. Or an everybody thing, who knows? All right, so with that, I have my bag on my press. Although this is just a simple bag, I'm gonna go ahead and do a pre-press, because as you guys know, when I do a pre-press, this also gives me an opportunity to make sure that my pressure is adequate on my press itself. Now, for this design, I'm going to put it up against the bag. Let that all heal out. You can see right now already, you can see now all of those rhinestones. This is holographic material, guys. This is just regular old-fashioned heat transfer vinyl, or heat transfer material, should I say. We got to get rid of the vinyl thing this year. So I'm going to go ahead and line my design up. Looks like I'm going to be a little bit off the press, but we'll do it in a couple different presses. And I'm going to simply press this down. Now, what I want to do with holographic is I want to actually heat apply this for about 8 or so seconds. And this is going to allow that static carrier to kind of release and allow me to move this design down a little bit, because I have one little spot that I got to try to press out. But as we're pressing this, we're adhering that holographic material, that heat transfer material, down to the garment. And then we're going to be able to peel that off, do one final press, and have a really, really cool design. So let me go ahead, let this cool down. Oop. See, I'm knocking down all the props now. Go ahead and bring that on the table. Holographic is I'm going to say cold. I like doing it cold, but technically you can peel it warm in some instances. Just depends on the material you're using. This bag material I'm using holds heat a little bit longer. So I want to make sure that I really allow this time to cool down. And what I'm looking for when I say cool to the touch. So if I can touch it and not feel any residual heat from it, I feel like it's good. But we're on the overhead here. Go ahead. Good. Send it up. Cool. Give it a little peel ski. Now I'm going to peel slow to start. And the reason why I want to peel slow to start with rhinestones or with a holographic or any material is that when it cuts into these little cavities, every once in a great while, it can have tendency to push some adhesive down in there. And we just don't want to risk it healing itself, like you see right here on this guy, healing itself and then ultimately coming off of the actual material. So I'm going to go ahead, peel slow. Everything looks really good. And I'm going to go and put this rhinestone back in. So, yep. Give me one quick second here. I'm just going to pop that rhinestone right back there. Oh, did I switch it again, or did we switch it? Oh, I'm so used to being the other way now in my head, and I'm pretty sure one of us switched it. Okay, cool. So now we have our rhinestone bag that we did, and I love this little belief. But let me go ahead and give it one last final press so we can make sure that piece adheres down well. And because we're doing one final press on this thing, I want to go ahead and grab a piece of parchment paper, Teflon, butcher paper, non-glossy side, or just regular craft paper itself. So we're going to go ahead and let this apply. While we're doing this, we got any big questions, comments, questions, concerns, questions, and also questions? No? All right, cool.
Maya also upstairs is saying that she can't really hear us, so something to circle back with on later.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah,
Jody
maybe adjust it down.
asks, how do you tell how much pressure you need for pressing rhinestones?
Ooh, that's a really great question. So for actual rhinestones itself, honestly, most of these are medium pressure from what I understand. I'll definitely get clarification on real rhinestones from Cindy. Yeah, Cindy, if you're in there, let her know about real rhinestones. But holographic material, medium pressure. Medium pressure is really all we need to get it to adhere. Some people like a little heavier pressure, firmer pressure. I will say if you have situations where like this bag itself has a big seam here and we're pretty close to that seam, and then also the bottom of the bag folds over and we're pretty close to this this part of the design. So in this case, I might do a little bit firmer pressure on this bag itself, because this these seams right here, the top seam and then just this little crease, both of these might touch a little bit of the press itself, but if I add some firm pressure, I can even those out without any problem. It's really when we have a seam that's laying across our press itself that we really have to use that pressing pillow. But medium pressure, I would say medium. Yeah, I'm actually curious to know that. I don't want to lie about it. When I do real rhinestones, I've just done like a medium pressure and had no problems. But I'm curious to know what Cindy says in the comments. So will you let me know, Anna, if she does reply quick enough? Okay, cool. Let's see. Yeah, go ahead.
She said not too much pressure. Medium is perfect.
Okay.
Too much causes adhesive to ooze.
Ooh, that's a good call too. So remember, holographic is the same, but it is in some instances a little more forgiving. So you only get so much adhesive per that little area of that circle, right? So if we are overpressing, to Cindy's point, that's a great point. I didn't even think about that. But if we are overpressing those rhinestones, it can have tendency where the adhesive actually leaks out of the sides, or you may just dissolve some of that adhesive, and then that either causes early failure or immediate failure on your rhinestones. But what do you guys think about this? Is this something you're wanting to try? Do you guys do a lot of rhinestone stuff right now? Do you utilize holographic material? Did you know that you can use holographic heat transfer material to simply create these rhinestone templates? I mean, let us know in the comments down below. Do we have any big questions, big asks in the comments right now? Because we're pretty much wrapped up. We got through this pretty quick today.
Does Caesar have the rhinestone flock?
Ooh, Johan, we're getting requests for rhinestone flock. If he's still out there, I don't know. Yeah, listen, I have a permanent answer for any of these questions coming soon, or we're definitely thinking about it, right? So those are my big two. So if you ever have a thought like, oh, I wonder if Caesar's thinking about this, I can guarantee you we're just working out the logistics to make it work. But who knows what the future holds? I don't want to say too much because then I end up going upstairs and everybody yells at me because I put too much pressure and we move too fast. So with that, I would love to see it. I think it'd be cool. But if you guys do need rhinestone flocking, many of our distributors and resellers that also sell our holographic, remember, that also sell our holographic. So utilize that holographic for the faux rhinestones. Because again, completely flat to the touch. And then with the real rhinestones, has a little bit of sound to it. Kind of sounded like a rain stick at first. All right, maybe that's me going back too much of the 90s. Anyway, with that said, and I know for this one for sure we didn't attach a giveaway, right? Okay, we didn't attach a giveaway to this one, but keep on the lookout because, you know, coming up next week, well, actually starting technically today, really, but tomorrow, essentially, is going to be the official start of our 12 Days of Christmas, which you guys already know, and I'm already giving away the script for the video, but you guys know that means live content, giveaways, fun for the week, a lot of content from around the world, which is really cool this time around. It's a real big collaborative effort. So there's going to be brand partners from all over the world that you'll see over this week. You'll see our friends over at Caesar Italy and Caesar ANZ and Caesar America Latina and Caesar Asia, all kind of collaboratively doing some stuff to support the 12 Days of Christmas. And you guys know it's the holiday season. So we wish nothing but the best for everybody. We hope that you have a great holiday season. We hope that you have a Merry Christmas for sure, as that's coming up in, 2 weeks now? Is it already the 2-week mark? Oh. And I'll say, just because we're on the live, happy early birthday to Aubrey, because it's her birthday Saturday.
Is that Believe in the software?
This Believe, is this one from Creative Fabrica that we use this? Okay, so I believe this one is from Creative Fabrica, but I know we do have something similar-ish to it in software right now, if this one's not.
And then 2 questions.
Yeah.
Is Tony popping back on?
Oh yeah, Tony, Kayla, we need you. Power team, assemble!
And then I also had questions about, I thought there were some other things that were coming with this update.
Oh, yes.
That would be noteworthy.
Grab
Yes.
my mic.
Let's see. We're moving some stuff to basic, right?
Yeah, well, you tell me.
It's been a while.
I feel like it's been a long time since we talked
yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
There you go. Here, I'll hold your guys' mics because you guys are doing the fun part.
So, in addition to the rhinestones, the printable PDF feature is going to be basic, and then the tile array feature, which I know a lot of people are excited about. Tile array, that's going from pro to basic. So we're trying, as we add pro things, we're trying to make more available in the basic version, and so we like to kind of just push things down to basic as we can.
Nice. All right.
Your mic needs to be used, I think.
Oh, why is it not hearing on this side? Okay, that's cool. We'll use mine for now. We'll figure it out.
I think
We got it.
that?
So Tyler,
One more time.
okay.
All right. So the 2 features that are going from pro to basic are printable PDF. So for those of you who want more control over your print, or you're doing a really, really big print, like sending it to a professional printer, you can save it as a PDF and it'll have the registration marks and everything. That's going to basic, so everybody can use that. So when you go to do a print and cut, you'll see radio buttons. They'll let you choose just send directly to my printer from Leonardo, or save it as a PDF for those really wide format prints.
That's awesome.
And then tile array is the other one. So I have an object and I want to make a grid of that object. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Patrick's
we'll
just
show it
gonna
in
show you.
software really quick there, Adam. Just for anybody that doesn't know what tile array is. So if I have, like Tony said, if you have an object, let me make that tiny.
There you go.
Coolio. You can come down to our scaling options, tile array, and then you can simply hit auto fit. and then now you can duplicate your designs quick.
So for those of you who are doing stickers, I know that's a huge deal, is just fit all those stickers onto the page, arrange them. Saves a lot of time. We are working on more of an advanced nesting feature for the future, so that instead of just being in these neat little rows, it'll actually rotate objects around to really maximize the use of your material.
Nice.
So that will be coming soon. No news on whether that's pro or basic yet, but we'll figure that out. So we have those two features that are going to be going down to basic. And the other thing I was saying about that is just that as we add new pro features, we're going to look to shift things down to basic so that everybody's really benefiting from these pro features coming in, because you're going to get new things coming down from pro.
Sweet. Now, will the audience recognize a different version number when this goes live right now?
So it's still going to be 1.1.26. So if you've been riding the beta, just stay on there. You're fine. Otherwise, you'll get a notice if you in your software that an update's available. So if you're in 1.1.24 or lower, you'll get a notice now, whereas before it wouldn't notice to you that, it doesn't give you a notification about betas, but it will about stable.
All right.
And then we'll have a 27 that's coming soon that has some just small improvements. And then, like I hinted a little earlier in the live, we've got a bigger one that'll probably be 28 or 29.
I'm excited about that. All right. Before we do this, because obviously this is our official commencement, and you guys have gotten to do this now on 2 lives when you've been in town, I think, babe, letting them go live at the same time. Before we get into that, any shout outs?
Well, I don't know who's watching. Holly, if you're watching, I love you. Hope you're doing okay with all the kids, getting them to school and everything. And have a good week.
Kids, be good.
Yeah.
Be good.
I guess my kids are at work or at school, so hi kids that aren't here watching.
Hi, kids that aren't here watching. It's all right. All right, cool. So it is official. Is everybody ready?
Ready.
You ready to rock?
Use the touchscreen.
Ooh. Pretend goggle. Bleep. All right, little drum roll. The Rhinestone Tool is now officially, when you're ready,
Ready, go.
stable on both Mac and on Windows. Congratulations, everybody. And thank you guys so much, because it's the holiday season. You guys already know I got to be a little mushy. You guys are absolutely awesome in what you do, and we appreciate you for everything that not only you're doing in Leonardo, but thinking ahead of the game and thinking about the people that are out there and intaking that information that I know that I spit at you guys regularly too much. And I know everybody bombards you with that. But like you guys, when we say that we're listening, these are the two we're talking about. We're listening to everything that you guys want in software with Caesar. We're always paying attention. So this holiday season, do yourself a favor, hop into Leonardo Design Studio if you haven't had a chance to yet. If you already have Leonardo Design Studio Basic, hop in and play around with the Pro so you can play around with some awesome features like the Rhinestone Tool and other features that are available to you on the Pro side or on the Basic side as well. And as you know, these guys we're always innovating here. Everybody's always innovating. But if you need to know where you can find holographic heat transfer material, and remember, holographic is what we use for faux rhinestones. Reach out to your local distributor, reseller, or go to your local retailer. And if you don't have one already, reach out to us at info@caesarna.com. And anybody watching right now over on YouTube, or even if you're over on Facebook, if you haven't already, join our Caesar North America support group over on Facebook. It's a great collective of not only employees here in the company, but also like-minded creatives. And we say all the time, it's learning from the audience, by the audience, and it's totally self-driven. So it's an awesome, awesome place to join as well. But until next time, love you, everybody. Stay creative. Bye.